let's project ourselves. We are a mom of 3 kids, and we have the oldest one's 6, and I'm a dad. We can pick. You can be the mom, I'll be the dad, vice versa. I've put on 15 pounds over the last few years. The phrase I hear is I want to get my body back right after kid number 3, kid number 4. So much garbage out there, dude. Yeah. We talked about on another show about influencers and the TikTokization of fitness and weight loss and dealing with food and trauma and culture. All that. Husband and wife team, they're sitting there. They got 3 kids. Kids are in bed, and I look and say, I want to feel better. You started snoring. I want to sleep better. I just want to show up better. We want to get our sex life back. We want to change some stuff. What's 2 or 3 or 4 things? Like, where do they start?
Yeah, no,
just so much nonsense.
That's
man.
good. Now it's going to be different from person to person.
Of course,
right?
Of course.
But look at nutrition from a behavioral standpoint, not from mechanisms like counting calories and counting macronutrients, stuff like that. Although I think it's important to know proteins, fats, carbs, and calories because you want to have that information. Start with behaviors first. So here's some easy ones. 1, try to avoid heavily processed foods. That'll usually result in a reduction in calories by itself.
Just get out of your house.
Just try not to eat them and don't buy them. Okay. That's an easy one. Here's another one. Studies will show that you will cut your calories by about 10 to 15% if you simply eat when not distracted. Okay. So you don't even have to change your diet. Just eat without looking at your phone or the TV or basically not being present. Okay. You'll eat about 10 to 15% less that way. So eat whatever you're eating. Just sit down and eat and focus on your food. A third one would be don't drink anything, water or otherwise, while you eat. Okay. Now there's no magical fluids with food causes thing to happen in the body. Really what it is you just chew your food more and you slow down.
Gotcha.
Okay.
You're more present.
These are all behavioral things. So don't drink while you eat, don't eat while you're distracted, avoid heavily processed food. If you just did those, most people, in my experience, let's say somebody needs to lose 20 pounds or so, will get like 10, 12, 15 pounds.
Wow.
Over time just from doing, a few of those things.
Okay.
As far as exercise is concerned, make the foundation of your routine strength training. Okay. It speeds up the metabolism, it'll organize your hormones well, and it sets you up better on long term.
It's a longevity play, yeah.
It is because, and I used to do this all the time with clients, if we did it right, at the end of their 30-pound weight loss, they would be eating more than they did when they started.
Okay.
Not less. What you don't want to do is end up in a position where, I lost 30 pounds, but now I'm eating 1,200 calories a day.
My life's miserable. Yeah.
Like, I got to keep this up forever.
Yeah.
Like, you want to be in a position where you have room and you're okay. And strength training helps to encourage that. Okay, so make that the foundation. And then here's the last one I would say. There's nothing wrong with cardiovascular training. In fact, it's great for health and all that stuff. But don't try to burn the calories off by doing tons and tons of cardio. That'll actually shoot you in the foot. It's actually
that's a shapeshifter moment. Yeah. And this is something I picked up about a decade ago, and I didn't realize that it wasn't in the popular culture. The damage there, right?
Yeah.
Now I run. If I go for a run, it's almost entirely mental health.
Yeah.
Like it clears.
That's a great reason,
right? Or if I go for a long bike ride, it's for my head, right? Not for getting jacked, right? But say that again. Like that, we got to hit home on that because that's a new thing for folks.
Yeah, so let me explain that, right? Okay. So there was this great study that illustrated this. Scientists went and studied the Hadza tribe, which is a modern hunter-gatherer tribe. So they live presumably the way that we all lived thousands of years ago. So they don't have modern technology. They don't even use agriculture. They hunt and they gather. Okay. So for all intents and purposes, they're way more active than the average Western couch potato. I mean, the way that they would hunt is they would stalk an animal, track it, throw something at it, injure it, and then run after it until it got tired.
Miles.
So, 10 miles or whatever, and then you got to bring it all the way back.
You got to drag it back, yeah.
So tons and tons of activity in comparison to the average Westerner. So scientists, through some pretty sophisticated testing, went down and tested their metabolic rates. How many calories are these people burning every single day? And what they found was that they burned generally the same amount of calories that the average Western couch potato burned. And you think, how's that possible? Well, it's an evolutionary adaptation.
Their body's downregulated, huh?
Well, I mean, there's no way we would have survived if our metabolisms had us burning 8,000 calories a day.
You couldn't stalk and kill that much food.
You ain't going to find 8,000 calories a day. So your body adapted to become more efficient. Now, let's look at the type of activity that causes that. It's cardio.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of endurance type training pares muscle down because muscle is very expensive, and it teaches the body to become very efficient with calories.
Tell them what expensive means.
Calorie expensive.
Yes.
Burns a lot of calories.
Yes,
right?
yes.
First of all, you don't need a lot of strength to have a lot of stamina. I mean, you look at long distance runners, right?
Yep.
They're very skinny, not a lot of muscle. You just need a lot of stamina.
Mm-hmm.
And because the activity itself is calorie expensive, right? Doing cardio does burn more calories per time spent than anything else. Your body just learns to become extremely efficient at what it does. It's an adaptation process. So if the cornerstone of your workout routine for weight loss is lots of cardio, what you'll experience is initial weight loss and a hard plateau. And then in order to get the weight to come off even more, you'd have to cut your calories more or increase your cardio more. And then you end up in this like, I'm doing 6 days a week, an hour of cardio. I'm eating 1,200 calories. I still got 10 pounds to lose. What the hell is going on?
So you just explained the United States in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s.
100%.
That was it right there.
Yeah.
Go take a fitness class, do a spin class, go run miles and miles and miles and miles.
And eat way less.
And just stop and keep eating less and less and less and less.
Yeah. And that's
it. Wow.
Yeah, that's a totally failing strategy. What you want to do is you want to build muscle and feed your body appropriately to build muscle. And through that process, the weight loss looks different. It starts off a little smaller or slower, I should say, mainly because it's fat loss with some muscle gain. So the scale might show
offsets.
it might show a couple pounds, but in reality, you lost more body fat than you gain in terms of muscle. But then as the metabolism speeds up, you get this kind of snowball effect where the weight loss starts to accelerate, and then it becomes much more permanent. And I like to use this analogy. It would be like if I had an advanced AI car that adapted to my driving behaviors. So imagine if I got in my car and every day I drove 350 miles at 30 miles an hour. What would my car look like? It would adapt and turn into this like energy efficient machine. Now, what if I got in that car and I did the quarter mile as fast as I could every single day, right?
Gotcha.
I'd get this huge
big back tires and
this engine that just burned a tremendous amount of energy, right?
Yeah.
So strength training does that. And that's why it's the best strategy for a modern lifestyle, because it doesn't take much time and it also speeds up our metabolism. And that's a good thing first of all, that'd be a bad thing 10,000 years ago. You don't want a fast metabolism 10,000 years ago. But today, food is everywhere.
Yeah.
I want a fast metabolism. That's going to make it a lot easier for me to navigate this landscape where food is so easily accessible. It's hyper palatable. That's what I want. So building muscle allows us to do that. And there's other reasons why I think strength training is so awesome for the average person. I mean, it's the only targeted form of exercise that lets you shape your body.
No, dude, that's not true. Because there's a button on the elliptical at the gym at the hotel, and it says tone.
Yeah,
it's the tone button.
Nah, it doesn't work that way.
For it's for buns or whatever, for like tone your
Do you know that word tone? The literal definition, the real definition of tone is a muscle's ability to contract.
Yeah.
Right? The fitness industry took that and used it as a marketing term and sold women memberships because they were afraid of building muscle. So they said, no, don't worry, you're not going to build muscle. You're just going to tone. Muscles don't do that.
Stupid. It's not a thing.
No, they build or they shrink. That's it. Toning, in that sense, is building to a smaller degree. That's all it is. So as you build muscle, they feel
stupid, dude.
They feel tighter.
It's incredible.
I know.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
No, I'm just gonna do Thigh Master. I'm just gonna work out. I just want to lose weight on my thighs.
Yeah, no.
I'm just gonna do that.
No, spot reduction is also largely a myth, but spot shaping,
lifting is for real.
Yeah, so like you could like shape your butt.
Yeah. You could tell I do tons of shaping mostly on my arms.
Yeah.
You can just see.
That's how I was just noticing.
Why is that funny, man?
You could shape your shoulders and your back and your posture and you can target build your body and create this kind of more shapely looking physique through strength training. It's also very individualizable. It's the primary form of exercise for rehab for a reason. I could do strength training with anybody.
Yeah.
I can't do running with everybody. I can't do swimming with everybody. But I can use resistance in a way to build. By the way, resistance training, the way that what I'm talking about is using resistance in a targeted way to build strength and muscle. That can be any resistance. So I want people to know, I want to be very clear. Yes, that includes weights. It also includes machines. It also includes resistance bands. It includes body weight.
And so all those arguments about which one, that's just majoring in the minors, right? That's just like just shut up and do push-ups or go like do something.
Yes, and it has to be appropriate.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so if I train someone that does nothing, no exercise, no strength training, very little is needed to induce any types of adaptations.
Gotcha.
If I'm training, a top level athlete, well, it's going to be a lot more to get their body to improve any further. And I want to say that because one of the biggest mistakes people make with all exercise is they think the harder and the more sweat and the more sore they get, the better. That's actually, not only is it false, it's the opposite.